All right, Shalom. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And it's people out here that still have trouble understanding that the 12 tribes of Israel are the only people that the Most High cares about, the only people that He chose, and that He does not love everybody. You still have people out here that believe that everybody can make it, and actually teaching these things. That's not the case, because everybody's not going to make it. You know, the Most High only chose Israel. This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. The Lord Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." That's straight to the point right there. That's straight, no chaser. The Most High chose the 12 tribes of Israel to be above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's what we're about to come into. Those are the times that we are about to come into. That's why we see all hell breaking loose throughout the earth. The curses that have been on the 12 tribes of Israel throughout history are now in the stages of being lifted off and put on the other nations. You know, verse 7, "The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people." Verse 8, "But because the Lord loved you," talking about Israel, talking about the 12 tribes, "and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers." Who fathers? Forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, the fathers that came out of the 12 tribes, you know. "Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of the king of Egypt," which is about to happen again. The Most High is about to bring us out of this land, Babylon the Great, and places throughout the earth again with his mighty hand by way of those chariots that's going to cover the skies, you know, and save our people from the other destruction that's going to be brought about on this earth, especially here in America, Babylon the Great, and other places throughout the earth, you know. And that's not for everybody. That's only for those that are of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know. The Most High didn't choose everybody. He only chose our people, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. Primarily those of the hopeful elect. They're only the remnant that's going to be saved out of this place. Because 2/3 of our people don't even, those are the ones that don't want to believe that this is for them. They want to continue to try to find a way for everybody to be saved, when the fact of the matter is the only ones that's going to be saved is the remnant, the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is Exodus 19 and 5, and it says, "Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine." All the earth is the Most High's. He can choose and choose whomever, and do whatever he wants to, because the earth is his. Everything was created for him, even the wicked for the day of destruction. And we know who the wicked is. You know, the Most High chose our people. The Most High knew who he was going to choose from the beginning, because our people were chosen from the foundation of the earth, especially that remnant, you know, and the 2/3 were chosen not to get it. But back to the point, Israel is above all people. Israel is who's going to make it out of here. Everybody else is going to be destroyed right along with this place, you know. "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." And this is about to take place after the destruction of this place. We're going to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. And it goes on, "These are the words that thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel," you know. And these same words are being spoken to them today. And these people don't want to believe that the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites. It's our kingdom, an everlasting kingdom, that the Most High is going to give us for all the suffering that we've been through. This is not going to be for any other nation. I'm going to go to the book of Jeremiah 31. In 31 it says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." It didn't say any other nation. That new covenant is going to be with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. No other nation can partake in the blessings that the Most High is going to give to the 12 tribes of Israel. It's only for the 12 tribes, and that's it, and nobody else. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, because that covenant that we made, that the Most High made with our people in the old world, our people couldn't keep it. Our people didn't keep the covenant. And that's the reason why the Most High is going to need a new covenant. Verse 32, "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband to them, saith the Lord." The Most High was a husband unto us. We committed adultery as a nation, and that's the reason why he casted us away and scattered us throughout all the earth. That's the reason why our people go through hell right now. That's the reason why we were put in slavery up under these various nations that were in power. We went through all of that because the Most High chose us. But our people were hard-headed and stiff-hearted and chose not to follow the ways of the Most High. So the Most High put us in the hands of these heathen nations, to put us in bondage and to oppress us. And we're still under the oppression of Esau, Edom today. And that's the reason why he's allowed to do the things to us that he does. And he has one more trick up his sleeve, which our people don't understand, but they're going to understand when it happens. But the Most High is going to save us out of here because we are his chosen people. We are his people. Everybody else is not going to make it out of here. Verse 33, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts." We're not going to be able to go off. Righteousness is going to be set in our hearts in the kingdom of heaven. We're not going to do things according to what the world does like right now. Everybody on this planet is going to do everything according to as we do in the kingdom of heaven. If they don't, they're not going to receive any type of blessings. They're not going to receive the things that they need to survive. The only way they're going to survive in the time to come is if they follow the laws, statutes, and commandments that the 12 tribes of Israel is going to be following. That's going to be within our inward parts. The Most High is going to write it into our minds. We're going to do righteousness, and we're not going to do evil. And write it in their hearts. "And will be their God, and they shall be my people." That's not talking about everybody. That's talking about the 12 tribes. That's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. No other nation, again, will receive those blessings. It's only for those that are of the 12 tribes of Israel, starting with the remnant that's going to be saved out of the destruction that's going to go on this earth. And we're very close to that destruction. Everything's in place to where it's supposed to happen. Everything's happening the way the Most High wants to happen. Everything's right on schedule. This is Deuteronomy 14:2. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, and the Lord Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth." These things are not hard to understand. The Most High didn't choose any other nation. He put his people above all the nations. That's why the world hates us. That's why the world do the things that they do, primarily because we didn't follow the first covenant that we had. That's the reason why we do the things that we do. The Most High gave us chance after chance to get it right, but our people chose to be hard-headed, as we are today. Our people, they chose to be hard-headed. That's the reason why the Most High put all this hell upon our people, you know. But the Most High chose us, not these other nations. This is the book of Amos 3 and 2. And it says, you only have I'll start at 1. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. No other nation was punished for their iniquities, because these nations really can't do any iniquity. You know, that they can do all the evil stuff that they do. But our people signed that contract with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Our people are the ones that were going to get punished for the things that happened. And that's what happened. Our people got punished because the Most High chose us and not these other nations. And these nations do conduct evil throughout the earth, but they continue on in their evil without being punished. Our people get punished, you know. But these other nations will get punished for the things, eventually, for the things that they did do, for the things that they have done to the 12 tribes of Israel. They will be going into slavery under, starting with Yahweh Shai, you know, on down to the 12 tribes. All these other nations will be in chains, and everybody will be under the Most High Yahweh, you know, because everything was created for his pleasure. It's going to be his pleasure to see us putting chains on these people for the things that they've done. You know, it's going to be his pleasure to see us meditating terror to do to these other nations, because that's the same things they did to us. It's only fair that we're going to get them and do to them what they did to us. You know, again, the Most High chose our people, and everybody's going to truly understand that in the near future, whenever the Most High raises up a standard in the midst of all this chaos that's going on. You know, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Most High is going to raise up and protect those of his nation, of his people. He's going to give certain of his men spiritual power to be able to do things that people didn't think were possible in this earth. Why? Because he chose the 12 tribes of Israel. He chose our people. No other nation is going to taste of spiritual power. Only our people is going to taste of that power that the Most High is going to give out. You know, and it's going to please the Most High to see his men going around doing things that the world thought that we couldn't do. It's going to please him because he's going to give it to us. The Most High is going to love what he see, you know, getting revenge for the things that the nations did to us. Why? Because he chose us. He didn't choose these other nations. The only reason why these other nations get the prosperity that they have is because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and it's their time to rule. But that time of the wicked is almost over. The people whom he chose are going to get the power back, and never to give it back to the other nations. The other nations are going to constantly be under our foot for forever, and we're going to rule this earth in righteousness. And the other nations are going to learn righteousness and do righteousness. Those that are not going to want to live righteously or live by righteousness, they are going to be done away with. It's not going to be tolerated. Evil and wickedness is not going to be tolerated in the earth once the 12 tribes of Israel come back in power. We're going to rule this earth the way it was supposed to be ruled, and that's in righteousness. You know? And I'm going to end it off in the book of Psalms 147, 19 and 20. And it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. You see, he didn't give that to any other nation. He gave it to Jacob, which is one of our forefathers. He gave it to Israel, you know. Verse 20, he says, he had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. These people put Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah on the back burner, you know, and the Most High is about to come back on this earth to make his name known, you know. Clearly says he has not dealt so with any other nation. So what do you think is going to happen to these other nations after the Most High gives the power back to his people? These other nations will not stand a chance. These other nations will not be able to lift their heads up anymore and come against the people of the Most High. Never to put us into captivity again. Never to be proud against us again. Never to whip us again. Never to do any of the things that they've done. Because the power is going to be stripped away from them, and all power will be given to the 12 tribes of Israel. No other nation will be able to have that power ever again. With that said, oh yeah, and one more thing. Our people that, especially those of the 2/3, they're going to be punished right along with these people for not hearkening to the voice and coming back to who they truly are. They want to remain black people. They want to remain prosperous here in America. And they're going to be destroyed right along with those people before that. The scriptures say, see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I'll just keep moving. Oh, okay. It's Romans. This is Romans 6. Romans 9 and 6. And it says, not as though the word of Most High has taken none effect. For they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. And those are our people, those of the 2/3 that do not want to come out of the ways with this. They're going to be punished for their actions also. They're going to be punished for refusing to come back to the Lord. But the Most High already knew that that would happen. So, you know, there you have it. Those same people are going to be punished right along with this heathen, you know. And with that said, shalom.